Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. Alrighty, so I'm working on page 2 of my Nocturnal emissions, and let me go ahead and hop right on in. Now I started throwing things together of what I wanted to show at the bar, so let me see if I can clean some of this up. I still need to style the girl, so give me a second. I'm gonna turn everybody else off. There we go. Turn that one off. There we go. And let's see. We'll put her right up here. Okay. Let's see. Who was I gonna choose? Oh yeah, I remember now. Okay, let me see if I can find her. Right now I have my main character at a bar and he's looking kind of pathetic. His girlfriend left him and he's just kind of feeling kind of sorry for himself. Let's see. Oh, okay, I got it, girl. I got it, girl. I got the girl. Let's see. Let me get that copy image. And so what I'm going to have him, you know, he's kind of like scraping the bottom of the barrel right now, as far as, you know, there's like nobody around. You know, club is pretty, or the bar is pretty dead. I'm just gonna get my little source image together. Just make her look real cute. Okay, let's see. And then I'll do the guys here. Whoops. I'm gonna draw big, and then when it's small. Oh, I gotta switch glasses. I got some reading glasses that are like the bomb when it comes to drawing this close to the screen. Whoops, something fell. Alright. Make sure everything is still charging. Yep. Don't want to have another repeat of yesterday. Let me make sure I'm in my chat. That way if you guys have anything to say, I can at least say, hi, how you doing? I put together a whole bunch more textures, and let me know if you can't hear the music or anything like that. I'll adjust it again. There we go. Alright, so let's get back to my source image. Oops, just lost one. There she is. We'll give her another layer. That way I don't have to clean up so much. Now this is an older lady who is going to be at the bar. She's still beautiful. And she would definitely have been the next one on the list. Just kind of shape her eyebrows here. And she's got eyelashes for days. Make it a little bigger. Yeah, and I had brought in a few more textures, and I can't wait to toss them on her. Um, Unfortunately, she's going to be really small, so you probably wouldn't be able to see all of her textures. But yeah, I went batshit crazy with texture. And then I found a way to fix the pattern so that it doesn't have so much of an obvious line. And yeah, I'll probably never buy anybody else's patterns or pattern brushes rather. Let me show you what I've done thus far. This is how I stay focused, right? All over this thing, and I don't need the canvas guide anymore. Oops. Let me go ahead and turn that off. There we go. And look at all those beautiful textures. I'm like, oh, dog. From his jacket to his shirt. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And once I figure out the secret to hair, I got wood. Even did wood on the counter. Yeah, it's getting badass. Wood on the floor. What I ended up doing is I wanted to style my oddballs place where he's going to meet up with his best friend Bryce, or his old friend Bryce. I wanted it to kind of look like this. So Derek is kind of sitting right here in the rack, and then like a bartender could come all the way around if they wanted to, so I'd have to set it up so that you know, they've got like the taps on the other side of the rack here, and then pool tables and whatnot are off to the side. So this is what I came up with so far. Either I'll have to crop it or just extend the bar down so that it'll kind of resemble, you know, and then just kind of curve this and stuff like that. So once I figure out how I want to style this, I don't know if I'm going to just leave it like this, because this is kind of like a throwaway scene. This is where I'm starting to get into it. Oh yeah, and I definitely have to put her here as well. That would I remember. Okay, so let me go ahead and do our girl, and then bring her to both sides. Let's see. Now I'm trying to figure out what I want him to say. I wasn't really specific when I was writing the script, writing the story. I don't even really think it was much of a script. It was pretty much him telling the story from his perspective. And then it'll go on to someone else's perspective. And let's see. And I kind of kicked myself for that. I wanted to leave myself enough cushion so that if I wanted to do something a little different, I could. Let me delete that. Back to that. But I think I left myself a little too much cushion. It's like I have my plot points, but it's easy to digress from them. But, you know, as long as I come back to the plot points. And because I don't have a solid script, I have the story, but the lingo seems kind of weird to other people. And, you know, for me trying to rush through this, it's like, okay, you gotta draw, you gotta write. You spent about a month writing, and another week or so waiting to color, only to not use your writings and not use color. But a friend of mine had my friend Jared. He is really great inspiration as far as, well, great inspiration, period. Fine human being, fine mammal, and he kind of chastised me when I was going to have my daughter color for me, but she was, she's got a life, and but I've got a deadline, and this was my baby. He put it in such a way, he's like, yeah, this is your baby. You don't let anybody else hold you back. La 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 la. But I wanted to give her a chance to help, and I kicked myself because I could have been coloring and drawing at the same time. And now I'm like a week away from, let's see, a week, and so about 5 weeks away from, I have to have this done. Everything in, and I'm not even halfway through the story, but at least we're at Bryce, and we're about to, I want to say, go to the club. So let me go ahead and get her outfit. No, it doesn't look like how I want, but you know what? It is what it is. She's a toss character. So I'm not going to sweat it. I'm going to go ahead and just go with it. Just add my tones. And I should do this in black and white the way I would do it in color. So I would like throw down a tone like this. Let's see. But I'm hoping it wouldn't take 2 layers to do it. I guess I can handle that. Let's try it. Her chin is a little big. Just taper it in a little bit. Oops. And add to that. Oh no. And this gives it, let's see, a nice base tone. See, about like that tone would be cool, because people aren't, pure white. Just give it another layer. We'll keep that one there, and then we'll fill that. Yeah, and then when I need to throw the highlights back on, just add a little bit of white. And a little bit of shadow. So I'm thinking I'm going to give her I'm going to make her into like a little fox, little silver fox. Let's see. But because it's black and white, it's going to be hard to tell. Take this down. Now usually when I'm drawing in coloring people, I only really use one or two brushes. I always use the soft brush here, and I would make it bigger and smaller, so like if I needed to find details like eyelashes and things like that, I would use, I'd just bring it up and down on this right here. Let me see if I got to change the texture. I don't really use a skin texture, especially with some of these that are really small, but some skin textures are really good in Procreate. Okay, that's on a different layer. Let's see, so I'll get on that. And what I want to do is just kind of soften my lines. Everywhere you see a line is where there's a possible shadow that's created it. And then depending on how the lighting is how deep that shadow is. So like right here, she's got a few darker layers of shadow. Right here. Let's see, just go ahead and fill this in for the moment, and then I'll come back with the lighting. Oh, and it also helps to be on the right layer when you're doing coloring. Let's see, am I still on that layer? But that's okay. I'm going to eventually blend them together. Okay, so I'm going to do another dark tone. Another thing that makes it look kind of pretty is that if you start with a color and then switch it to black and white, it also looks pretty too. Let's see. And then basically what I'll do is I'll smudge my tones, and it gives it this nice soft look. Okay, so let's keep going. She's a tosser, so I'm not going to go all balls deep on her. And I'll merge. Sometimes I try to do the finger pinch and it just doesn't work for me. Either my nails get in the way or it's just, nah, not having it. Okay, so I'm using the fine hair brush that comes in Procreate. And I might be tempted to make a texture from this, but I think for the hair textures, all they are like a little dots here and there. They look like this for the brush. Not that one, sorry. Fine hair brush. And you go to grain, and it's just a bunch of dots on a black canvas, but it gives you this beautiful, realistic looking hair. Plus, it's a lot faster than drawing every individual strand. And what's cool is that if I want to do waves and curls, just the stroke. Let's change the stroke. If I want to give her like the ringlets, things like that, that's all I have to do. But I'm going to give her a long ponytail as if oh, it'd be funny doing an older Ariana Grande. That would be funny. And she's in a bar trying to hit on a young guy or a younger guy. It can happen. It can happen. Okay, so I'm just kind of dragging the hairs go. And then I'll go ahead and smudge the texture, but I'm going to use the short hair brush. And what it does is it smudges it, but still keeps it, and it softens my strokes. And it's like adding depth to it. So I'll do this and then go over it again with the soft hairbrush when I'm ready. You know, to give it the individual strands look. So like if I have like individual strands that are popping around, or if I just need to make it look a lot thicker, I come around with the brush again. And then come around, same brush, but with a different tone. So like, we're gonna throw the highlights in. But instead of it just being around the outside, we're gonna toss some here. Kind of like the Bride of Frankenstein, just at the temples. But we'll make it look like really pretty. So it's like an elegant woman. And we'll also have like these streaks in her ponytail. Our little silver fox here. Let's see, we'll do some grayer tones. So like if I wanted to keep it really tight, I probably wouldn't do any swirls or anything like that. But since I have it kind of loose, just kind of have like, I can have a hair pattern. There we go. And we'll just toss a little bit of gray, a bit more black here, just to kind of break up the gray. Okay. I'm going to change my brush back to the soft brush, and I'm just going to give her a little bit of makeup. And just around the edges here. Oops. I'm going to get rid of that short hair there on my smudge and just change it back to soft brush. And I think out of all the brushes, the soft brush is my favorite. It's just really super versatile. Oops, come on now. Sometimes my iPad gets a little hot and doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Okay, so now that I've got both layers kind of merged, I'll kind of shape her face the way I kind of wanted it from the get-go. Yeah, so if you want more of a realistic look, you just want to, don't have lines. Play with the tones, play with the highlights. Or start off with lines and then either soften them or get rid of them. And then have a variance of soft tones and hard tones. Not necessarily lines, but, you know, just up and down your brush size here. Now, here it looks like she's got a line for her nose, but it's actually a tone. So let's go ahead and soften it just by going over it once or twice, and it kind of smooths it out. And then depending on what side of the line the shadow is being created on, like for this one, for her nose, we'll put the shadow or the contour right here, and just will soften it. So if this is dark, then this part here will be light. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of white to this. And I'm going to drop this down a little bit so it's not glaringly white. And it just gives that extra dimension. Just keep in mind that wherever you have like a contour, the contour shows that it's round and it's bending away from the light right here. This is light. And as this curves, it gets that shadow. And then I kind of like to soften that shadow, like the where you can't tell where the light begins and the shadow ends, or that they're just kind of merged together. So when I do this, I am going over into each side. I am merging the dark and moving the dark down, and then I'm also moving the light into the dark, and then the dark back into the light, and it gives you that nice curve. And if you feel like you've lost a little bit of it, just bring it back, and then just soften again. Just bring this down, and just kind of soften those edges. Now she's going to have nice cheekbones. I'm going to bring that up. Now if you feel that you put too much shadow in there, you can go to your eraser tool, drop it down, your brush opacity all the way down, and then you can lighten what you've done. So it's not as glaringly dark. Oops, let me get off that. Okay. Too much of a good thing. So another thing that I like to do is when I get ready to add more tones, I'll bring this down here, so if I want to add more black or more of that dark tone, I'll come down here, and then the more I tap it, the darker it'll get. So that's a whole nother way of controlling your tones. And then I'll just kind of blend again. Now if you don't want to blend things away, bring your brush opacity down so it'll just have a softer blend. There we go. Let's see, so for the nose, let's see, her nose is, let's see, let's bring that up. We'll have the lightest spot right here. And for every shadow, there's a corresponding highlight. Or else we'd be in complete darkness and things would be completely flat. In a world that's completely flat, you wouldn't have any tones. So, yeah, I abuse the smudge tool a lot, but I come back and I alternate with different tones. So like right here, just to enhance this tone here, and then I just kind of make a judgment call. Is this going to be darker than this area? And this is going to stay dark, but I'm going to bring a little bit more of this tone. Because her forehead is sloping a little bit, but her nose isn't that It's not that broad. Now, when you have like one of those Kardashians who put like a lot of makeup on to give themselves, make their nose look slimmer, or people who make their nose look slimmer, you'll notice that they'll put like the dark bronzer or toner, whatever it is that they're using, to slim their nose. This is the same thing that you would do when you are drawing. You want to give yourself a highlight of where the tip of your nose is, where it's meeting the light, and then when it goes away from the light, that's when it's going to get darker, and it'll give you a slimming effect. She's got some highlights here. You just pay attention to where it's the whitest, and then where it's not so white. Just just kind of pay attention to the tones. So if you can do a sphere, you can do a portrait. Because this is basically her cheekbone that I keep fussing with. It is a sphere. I don't know. I don't see Kris Jenner in this. How you doing, Tatted Hearts? Yeah, I think it's the cheekbones. Okay. And maybe the thin lips. Let's see. We'll fill this with a light gray. That could be it. Maybe she's got this smug look about her. Always out for the prowl or something. I don't know. That woman always looks like she's about to make some money or something. I don't know. Which is good, I guess, when you're an opportunist. Opportunist. You got that opportunistic drive. That's why she's the momager. I'm sure she's a very nice lady with a killer instinct for money. It could be this nose too. It does look like it's been manufactured. You know, I've never seen any pictures of Kris Jenner looking young. You know, in her younger days. I don't think I've ever seen any pictures of her like that. And I want this lady to look older, but I want her to still be pretty, you know, doable. To me, she reminds me of Kelly McGillis from Top Gun, the love interest from Top Gun, who doesn't look like this at all anymore. But I always liked her class. I was always jealous that she got to mess with Tom Cruise, but you know, can't be hating, can't be hating. Oops. Bring this down. Let's see. Okay, 641. Her ear is like really super huge and it's really super low. Let's see. It's one of the two. Or my jaw is just like really low. There we go. Or really high up. There we go. Just kind of smooth these this way. Okay. Had to do a brush check. Get it a little darker. I'll bring that down. And I'll just build up the tones. Okay, so let's see. Let's soften her eyes a bit. Take a little arch her eyebrow. We're up to no good. I'm grown. I'm gonna get me some. Get me some of that young buck. Just erase a little bit. Let's see, what kind of earrings should we give her? Okay, that's on the right brush. So kind of soften this too. Yeah, the idea is that I was going to do like J-Lo or something like that. Someone who's like super gorgeous and a little older. Let's see, I don't want to use that brush. There we go. But you know, Kris Jenner's the right age of what I was thinking of for this lady. I'm going to make this line a little harder. Let's see. Give her furry eyelashes. Let's see. Oops. Still have that hairbrush on it. Okay, so I'm also thinking I want to give her a sexy little outfit. We won't see too much of it, but I think we should at least have her boobage kind of be her man catches. We'll have her man catches out. Let's fall into this. Okay, we'll clean up these eyebrows. Drop that down some. And I actually need this to be white in this area too. Alright. Let me make this kind of merge into that so it's not like glaringly bright. Alright. And we'll just keep it dark around the edges here. That'll make her forehead pop out a little bit more. And there we go. Can't neglect the ear. We'll put a few highlights in here. Oops. I'm going to erase a little bit around the edges here. We don't have hairy ears. And I'll just kind of merge that in there. Soften those curves. Let's see. Yeah, at first I was trying to make it look like someone recognizable, and I'm like, I have to keep in mind that I don't want to get sued. It's like, you made me look like a hag, and I ain't getting paid. Okay, so let's go ahead and soften a little bit of these edges. And we'll bring this down some. Oops, yeah. There we go. And just kind of give her ear some shape. And of course we probably won't see it because it'll be like super tiny. But we'll know that she's got EI. Okay. Da, da, da. Okay. You know, that would be kind of cool to give her that short hairstyle, but I had in mind to give her a ponytail. One of those like an Ariana Grande kind of ponytail, like it's like all the way down her back. Let's give it a shape. Okay, and I'm thinking of giving her, let's see, I think her eye is a little low. That could be it too. Yeah, it should be tilted the other way. Let's see. Let me try something. You know who she reminds me of? The actress that played in, what is it? Something around, something nights, something lights, something football TV show. Saturday Night Lights, I think that's what it was called. She reminds me of that lady. A little bit. And she's a decent actress too. I liked watching her in American Horror Story. She went through some stuff, yeah, some stuff. Okay, let's fix this. For the ones that are closest to the lines that are closer, it's just all I have to do is smudge it, and that'll kind of bring it together. But when it's far away like this, I bring this back up and kind of do this sort of thing. Just sample as close to the edge as I can, and then just kind of rub it all back in. Oops, wrong brush. Keep it with a soft brush. And sample again. Or you could also use the clone tool. Okay, And then we'll throw some more highlights on her. Bring this down here. We don't want it too bright. So like the circle of her cheekbone will be like right here. And then around where your eye socket is. And then just kind of soften this. I think her nose is not long enough. Let's see. I'll do this. Bring that down and then just kind of make her nose a little wider so she can breathe. And the nose gets bigger as you get older. It's the one part of your body that just keeps growing. That's why, like, older men have, like, massive noses. And ears. Ears and noses. They just keep growing and growing. And in my family, it's boobs. The boobs just keep getting bigger and bigger and heavier and heavier, and then smaller. Well, not smaller. They don't get smaller. They deflate. Let's see. I'm going to try to soften up this area right here. There we go. Good enough for government work. Let's put some shiny stuff in her lips. I think I'll use the fine hairbrush for this. Bring it down a little bit and just kind of make those lip stuff, lippy things, little highlights. And then we'll use a little bit of the dark tone. And then I'll just kind of smudge it together. Usually the top lip is darker than the bottom lip until the bottom lip starts to curl under. There we go. Not just for hair anymore. And it's Friday. Yay! Friday. And a 3-day weekend. A 3-day weekend. My friend would always say that every time it was a 3-day weekend. It was a line from Supergirl. And he used to love to always say that. A 3-day weekend. A 3-day weekend. I gotta do that to him. All right. And she's got like a little laugh line, and it's not too bad. Yeah, she looks like that Connie chick. Her name will come to me. Okay, so I want to give her an earring of some sort. What shall we give her? Something. Let me see if there's one of my new brushes would work. Textures. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's see. How about? Let's do a hoop. I don't see any. Let's try a different one. this one's really pretty. Let's put it on a different layer. That way I can isolate it. That is pretty big. Let's see, we'll alpha lock it. Let's see if we can do a texture around the edges. Different. Okay. Let's see if we can do... I don't think the other one will show. I don't think it's that big. And then we can always make it smaller. I wonder... it's different. Okay. Alright, so let's see. She is going to move that in. Merge down. Merge down. And then we're going to bring her... Oops, before I merge her down too small, I'm going to copy her. I'll put her here. Let's see. See, I don't think I'll be doing too much more to this, but I like those little chairs. I don't want to screw it up. It should be okay. I should be able to sample them again. Alright, so paste. And just kind of squeeze it down. There we go. And we'll just kind of fit her into place. That's not bad. All right. So on, where's that layer? There she is. Okay, so on that layer, let me erase. Yeah, this is the downside to using pixels. You know what? I wonder. There was something that I saw. Where'd it go? Is she here? Paste. Nearest. By cubic, I think was the better deal. Yeah, there's different little things that I can do to try to keep the pixels decent when you reduce the size. It's not too bad. So not every, you know, maybe everybody's on the prowl every now and then. We'll see. Okay. And maybe a turtleneck. Let's erase. Oops. Oh shoot. Okay, 7:03. I got half an hour before my alarm goes off. And then we'll give her like this ponytail. Let's do the rest of her body. Okay. So we'll do like one shoulder up and the other shoulder down. And maybe we'll help her smile just a little bit. Oh, and I found a sequin type texture. I want to see if that'll work. We'll give her turtleneck here, and we'll have like this cutout. Bring your shoulder over more. I was going to have it like kind of coy looking. Let's see, how about like this? Like she's looking at him like fresh meat. And then like thinking those type of thoughts. You know, and I can consider her like a lounge lizard. Maybe she's like, you know, she comes in, probably married, in one of those special open relationships or something like that, or has a older husband who's probably cheating on her or something like that. Or she could just be single and ready to mingle. Let's see. Best booze money can buy. Or in my case, genetics can produce. And she's sitting in one of those chairs. I'll just kind of there was this one picture that I saw where the people, they would sit in a chair, and then you could, they had like this weird like a butt or a tail on the back of the chair. It was pretty cool. Let's see, we'll do this. Okay, and remove, and let's do that sequined texture. It's like I created them, but I never got to try them out. Let's see. Maybe I'll save it for the bar or the club. Ooh, but she could be like the lounge lizard. So instead of it looking like sequins, it'd be like kind of scaly looking. And I've got let's see, and maybe let's see, or I could do the snake skin. Let's see, let me try something. You do a different layer, and then do the snake skin right here. Oh, I gotta turn the other, well, I can't turn the other layer off. Shoot. Yeah, the snake skin's not showing up because of the other layer. Oh well, it was a thought. I like the sequins. Just a little flashy, a little much. Maybe she's waiting for a friend. Maybe she wants to make a new friend. I ain't mad at her. Get yours, get yours. Or she's just like him, just trying to get some. Don't want to be alone. just kind of throw, oops, we'll bring that down some. Just kind of throw some shadow in there. Ooh, I could make that into a mesh too. Let's see, I need that big. This. See, I just came from Walmart. This is my shopping outfit. Go up and pick up some mint and some milk. Alright, let me back it up. Here we go. I just got to remember to use sequins on her. And I think his friend should rescue him. Or rather, he's rescuing this lady from his friend. Bryce is rescuing him from our main character here. Rescuing her. All right. Just kind of soften this a bit. Oops. All right. And then I still got to do some work on him. Let's see. Alrighty. She looks so pretty over here. Okay, let's see, do I want to do it on top or the bottom? Let's see. I'm going to do the same thing that I did on hers. Oops. Just get his hands too. We'll just take this really light. Now I'm trying to decide, do I want to put it beneath him? It's not a bad idea. There we go, much better. I gotta figure out what I want to do with his hand. Let's see. Okay, I was worried that my pawing at this make this a little darker. Okay, I just need to add a few more tones onto him. Oh, I'm not working on the right layer. Let's see. There we go. I think I'm going to give him a harder, maybe a little bit darker around the eyes. Alrighty. Let's bring that down. And add a little bit of stubble. It's after work. Probably hasn't really been home. All right. Okay. Let's see. I want to give just a little bit more definition right here. Just kind of soften it. All right. I'm trying to decide where I want to put. Do I want to give him a glass, or do I want to give him a bottle? I don't know. Let's see. Or does he even want to drink? You know, this is like so freaking frustrated. Let's see. Alright, I got 7 minutes, maybe less, because I don't think my clocks are in sync. Oh, okay, I got 8 minutes over there. I got 7 minutes over here. Okay, good to know. Alrighty. And I think we'll throw a little bit more of a shadow. Yes, I thought I had exceeded the layers. Okay. And yeah. Let's see, how about like right here though? Anywhere I think a shadow might be. Let's see. Let's see, where else can I put a shadow? Oh, on his nose, maybe. Let's see. Usually I like to soften my hard shadows up. Just kind of making it darker. Alrighty. Trying to get a few of those little spots that I might have missed. Okay. And maybe where his eyes are. But I'll soften these up a bit. Just kind of soften it. Okay. Ooh, much better. Okay. So he can brood and think about, I still have to do 15 clients tomorrow, and it's like totally dead, and I have no girlfriend. Ah, fuck. Let's see. And on her layer, see, I could probably get away with merging these guys. There we go. And I can merge that one. Now we'll still need to do, oops, I'm still going to need to, what's the word? I'm going to still need to do the backgrounds and stuff, but like there should be at least a chair or something back here, or I'm not sure. Soften that up. Alright, so I'll come up with that, and that's where I am on that page, and then I'll work more on the page 2. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully at the beginning you guys got a little bit of a taste of some images and stuff like that. Let's see, I'm going to put old girl over here and just kind of slide her over. Ooh, that would be kind of cool, is that we have like a little picture here of her like in a little bit of a smile, and then just kind of bring everybody down just a little bit. It's like, hey, we'll see what happens tomorrow. You guys have a great one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. And Tatted Hearts, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you guys don't be a stranger. Go ahead and hop on in, say hi, even if it's not on the stream. If you have any questions or comments, or if you'd like to, throw 2 cents in, tell me what you like, what you don't like, or check out my comic. The chapter 1 is already up. And I'd love to hear your feedback, but do it on the comment, on the comic. The link is in the description. You guys have a great one. Bye bye.